Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Fifth Road Spirit. I am here with your weekly reading. This week is a little different. Excuse me, I had some a little bit of a family project pop up in the last couple of days, so did not get a chance to get my notes and everything together. So this week is just going to be a reading with some guidance. And additionally, I'm separately doing the new moon video. We have a new moon coming up this week. Um, and I believe it was in the last couple of days, Mars in Aries has gone retrograde. And in the last video or two, I think I talked a little bit about Mars in retrograde and what that looks like. Um, Essentially, Mars in retrograde is, um, I believe it's a little bit of a tower moment that is probably going to knock the masculine energy a little bit wayward. Because when we think about Mars, Mars is the god of war, and Mars is also represented in tarot by I believe, the Tower card, yes, and Aries, and again in the Major Arcana, Aries is represented by the Emperor card, and of course, the Emperor card in tarot, it could stand for government structures. It could stand for, the masculine. It could stand for, um, the patriarchy. It could stand for those kinds of ordered, hierarchical things in our lives. Um, but yeah, specifically for, for Mars and Aries being retrograde, that means that instead of the emperor in this case being the one to like push over the tower is pushing over the emperor. So in that case, be I don't want to say what to be prepared for, but tower moments usually come into our lives to help us, or at least temporarily kind of disable the temporary take away the ability to continue doing whatever it is that we're doing for our own good. The things that we need to stop doing. So, um, with that said, I'm just going to go ahead with the reading today. And again, there's going to be a second video this week for the new moon in Virgo. And I believe that will be Wednesday morning. I'll release that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully you can hear me and the volume's high enough. Actually, let me go ahead and get the space prepared. Just ring my little bell here. Prepare the space and welcome in the divine energies and protect this space for the message that will come. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot this morning. Okay. I call on my divine masters and teachers. I call on my ascended and enlightened ancestors. I call on the spirits of the elements of air, fire, water, and earth. And I call on the fifth element in nature that unites and supports us all to come into this reading with a message for the collective for the week of September 14th. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much. Okay. Spirit, can we get some cards for this reading for the week of September 14th, 2020 for the collective? Any messages for the week of, thank you, Spirit, September 14th, 2020. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Let's see. I think it came out in this order. Okay. Spirit, do you have any messages? Thank you. All right. Awesome. Okay. So what we have out on the board, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Fool, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Son of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. So, let's see. Give me 1 minute to just look over and give a little bit of an overview here. Because the story that I'm seeing is, oh man. It's almost like, I don't want to say failure. I don't want to say failure. That sounds like a bit too harsh. But it's a question of, what do we do when we are faced with failure? Yeah. Okay. And it's not failure itself. It's what do we do when we are faced with the need to start over? Okay. So, here's the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is, when we, again, and I know I talk about the cards when they pop up and I explain them, but the story of the Seven of Pentacles is we have found that we are at kind of a stuck place. We're trying to figure out how to replicate the success of the past, because incrementally what we've done is continue to go up and up and up, but where do we go next? Is there there's another space to improve, but it's finding itself off of the cards here, right? So it's almost as if we're at a point of making a decision of whether, this next step means something. And of course, when we talk about pentacles, we talk about new resources. We talk about energy that we put into the things that keep us going on a daily basis. So this could be about money. This could be about a job. This could be about investments. But essentially, and the pentacle also stands for earth. So on a spiritual level, I'll talk about this on a spiritual level. On a spiritual level, what we're looking at is moving to another plane of existence, right? Moving off this current plane here into another plane of existence in order to replicate success and to grow. But we're scared because think about if you were this pentacle on the edge of the card here, looking at, oh my gosh, I've come to the edge of the card, and no one has ever prepared me for what the next phase is going to be. So you might find yourself wondering, what do I do? What do I do? And in some cases, with this Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles Five of Pentacles is essentially, we worry. We worry about, what we, okay, in this card, what I see is we worry about what our friends and family will think once you know, once we make this leap. We worry about what is acceptable and what is unacceptable, but really all we need to be concerned about is what is acceptable, what is acceptable to us. And what that means is like you may have to start over. You may have to do some things differently. You may have to do some things differently in order to get another result. You may find when you move from the Seven of Pentacles to this Five of Pentacles that you are at a loss. You've sacrificed. But even though this card is saying, there is not that fresh feeling. I see the red rose and I think it represents love and passion. Um, it's not so much that you are losing passion, you are losing a passion from the past. And you are now presented with finding your freshness where you are, like finding that fresh love. Finding that fresh love of where you are being, and when I say love of where you are, sorry, my my backwards, that not a backwards brain, but I tend to think a little differently. So you're finding yourself. You might even find yourself rejecting yourself, and I know that sounds harsh. Apologies for that, but you can't reject yourself. You actually have to look at this red rose and say, I know that this red rose represents love and passion, and I know that where I stand right now, I cannot have this perspective as I try to grow. And so that's where the Fool comes in. And the Fool card, now, if this is specific to someone, this Fool card might stand for either, okay, so this Fool card might stand for, someone else coming. Okay, if the previous part of this is about relationship, but I don't think it is, um, this could be about getting to a certain point in a relationship only to realize, there was no love and no passion. Okay. Um, and then the Fool card comes in, and either you have to start anew, or the person that is coming in into the past, or that is coming into the past, is the actual Fool, right? The one that is new and fresh, and something that you cannot be, right? But I don't think that that is the case here, and I don't want to give a damaging message. However, if I continue on the storyline of, this is the storyline for the people who are facing a change of like their level. You're facing this, making this leap off of the Seven of Pentacles, and you're finding that staying where you are is not producing any results. This is a new change for you in this Fool card. This is you making that leap to be reborn and renewed into something new. And when that happens, that is where the Ace of Pentacles comes in, because all you ever needed was one. All you ever needed was one pentacle, right? If we look back on the Seven of Pentacles card, the Seven of Pentacles is where we had to start at the bottom, learn how to replicate, success, learn how to replicate, and of course, as it increased, as you went from place to place to place replicating success, you learned something new from the previous attempts, right? And you added on to that as you were doing all that work. So here in this Ace of Pentacles, this is a gift from the divine, because this is all encompassing. This is you regenerating on your own. This is you working from the very core and the very center and the very authentic part of you to bring forth something new. Now we can see this tree here. Um, the core of it is still very much alive, and there are leaves poking out the side of it, but the tree never completely dies. And if we think about the Ace of Pentacles as we think about the earth itself, even though it's aged and layer upon layer upon layer has been added to it, the center is still alive and fresh and producing new layers. So this is where we get our fire from. This is where we get our inner inspiration from. This is where we get that fresh restart. This is where we find the heart of ourselves, the heart of our creativity, the heart of our knowledge, the heart of the thing that drives this Pentacles energy. We can always create a new earth. We can always create a new thing for ourselves. We just have to find that fire, that inner fire. And with the Son of Cups coming in here, the Knight of Cups, excuse me, this is about, so in a tarot forum, I was someone else was saying, um, asking the question about like the court cards, because they can be difficult in tarot. But with the Knight of Cups here, what I learned from that forum was, or what I shared was basically, um, knights in any part of the suite are bringing evidence of the nature of this cup. And as we see here, this whole reading to this point has been Pentacles, has been Earth. And now at the end of the reading, because we have done all that earthly work, all that earthly energy, now we are being sent evidence of new emotion, new spirit, new, it's a new kind of like a spiritual energy that we're getting. And that is, it's actually, even though it's water, it's actually stoking that inner fire. It's the spiritual, I think it's the understanding here that we've worked so hard on a physical realm that we're learning, we're getting evidence now that this inner fire, right, this core of our being was actually spiritual in nature. The thing that we wanted to do so much and the thing that we wanted to do so badly was actually spiritual in nature. It had nothing to do with the outer. It had nothing to do with money. It was always in us. And it's almost as if we're romancing ourselves. But if this is someone, and this is on a spiritual level, we are romancing ourselves. Now, if you are, what's the word? If the second storyline that I presented earlier, the one about facing like the end of a relationship or something like that, this could be a new romance coming in to you at the end of all this, because the Ace of the Pentacles still talks about that inner fire, and you're finding yourself surviving on your own, but there's the promise of new relationship coming in. If you resonate with the second line, the second storyline there. Now, the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. To me, this is always about hidden messages and secrets. So, the first storyline, the spiritual nature of this is about this is about wiping away everything on the exterior, right? On the 3D level, and looking at this as what the question is, what kind of secret am I hiding from myself? Am I hiding my inner fire, right? Am I hiding myself from that inner fire? Am I hiding myself from my own source of spiritual understanding and growth? Am I hiding the evidence of spirituality from myself? Because honestly, when we get to the point of talking to ourselves on a spiritual level, and I'm not talking religion, I'm talking spiritual. And this could also be you leaving a spiritual, a religious, blah, blah, blah. This could also be you leaving a religious structure, something that was, something that you understood well. But then again, we're talking about the Seven of Pentacles structure that we were already on. So, and I don't want to confuse the message, but essentially, when we wipe away that 3D, like, when we wipe away the stones, when we wipe away the job, when we take all that off the table, we are left with looking very deeply at ourselves, and seeing how the story outside has played along with the story that we've been telling ourselves. Wow. Okay. So, let's get some guidance for you for this week. We're at about 20 minutes. Let's do an animal spirit card. Animal spirit has been very helpful to me lately. I actually got a message about dolphin energy, and I was so happy to see that dolphin was talking about being in the light, or being a messenger of the light. So hopefully I can get a message for you all that will help you with the spiritual message, or the spiritual evidence that's coming through for you. Okay, Spirit, can you give me some guidance for this reading for the collective for the week of September 14th? Wow, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, carry my time. Thank you, wow. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, wow. Spirit has a lot of messages. So, we've got bat, firefly, cheetah, and crow. And I'll go ahead and read those off. Oh, here we go. All right, first up is bat. Bat. Here we go. Okay, bat. Darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth, which is very clear in this reading. Rebirth on a spiritual level for sure. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter. Yes, this is what we see in this reading. The closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. When this energy is in balance, it accepts, adapts, and adjusts. When it is out of balance, it refuses to let go, it reminisces. To bring into balance, watch the sunrise. Take some time this week to wake up early and watch the sun come up, and understand that this new day, right? This new day is coming. This new energy, this fresh new energy, a new day is born. And that is the promise of every day, is that we have this opportunity to do this differently or approach it differently. So let's look at Firefly. Firefly, inspired. I'm sorry, I should have held up the cards as I was reading them. Um, the Firefly contains, okay, Firefly is inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. The Firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. Hold on, let me put this up. I have like a shaky hand. The Firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the Firefly indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is Firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? When in balance, it writes, creates, or brainstorms. When it's out of balance, it feels burnt out and dull. To bring it into balance, write a poem or draw. I love that. I love drawing, and I haven't written poetry in such a long time, and I miss it. Um, so I recommend doing that too. I think I'm going to do that because I love poetry. So I will be joining you all in this week's activities of watching the sunrise and writing poetry. But now let's see what Cheetah energy has to say. What guidance we can get from the Cheetah card here. Okay, let's see. Where are you, Cheetah? Here we go. Okay, Cheetah. Solar force, action, achievement, and masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah, it shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements, purpose, and passion. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. And again, that's what I see in the Seven of Pentacles. We're kind of at the precipice of advancing upward into the next pentacle, into that Ace of Pentacles. And really, all it is that we need to um, remember our purpose and passion, not so that we can stay on the same plane, but that so that we can get the energy to jump out of this pain of existence. Plane of existence. Sorry, wow. That might have been Freudian. I don't know. Plane of existence, but into this new, this actual Ace of Pentacles that we're trying to get to. This that we're actually even probably trying to revive your own sense of purpose and your own drive of passion and purpose there. Okay, so we've got the cheetah. Now, the other thing too that I notice is that this is a solar, this might even be a regeneration of that masculine purpose. And again, when I talk about masculine and feminine, I'm talking about energy, but it could be that we are revitalizing the actual masculine that is, that balances us in this situation. Because this is solar, and then the bat was about the moon. The bat was about the lunar energy. So there is definitely a balance coming in here because lunar energy I see, of course, as a feminine energy, and that was what the bat is carrying. You can see the moon in the background there. Okay, so now we have Crow, and that is our last card. Let me look that up. Crow. The crow is spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen and knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities, past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self study. When in balance, again, there's this Knight of Cups here, and it's to me, this is more about spiritual energy than it is about someone new coming in. This if it represents anything new at all or anyone new at all coming in, it is a regeneration of spiritual energy. So, um, when in balance, you are psychic, strong, and clear. When you are out of balance, you are ungrounded and hypersensitive. To bring into balance, get back into a daily meditation practice. And you all, that is exactly what I've been needing lately. I don't know about you all. I've I've definitely been working through all of this, which is a blessing, but also um, kind of need a break. Kind of need some time to reflect and get back into my own um, meditation. Like, I've been doing it sporadically, but not every morning, and I definitely need to do it more. So, if this is resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I do readings every week, and um, also do readings on the new moon and full moon. And I look forward to adding more readings. So if you're interested in donating to the channel, please let me know and I will provide a link for donation. I'm also still working on building a new home for Fifth Road Spirit. But again, thank you for joining me this week, and I hope you find your spiritual jumping point this week. I wish you well. Namaste. Bye.